Hey guys, Man here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make explosion effects in Unity using the particle system. So as you can see here, this is a game I've been working on. It's a tank game. I hope to put it on the Android store eventually. It's not even close to completion, but the main thing I just wanted to show is I was having a lot of trouble making explosions that I wanted to use the particle system, and I wanted to instantiate them at where the bullet landed. But I had trouble making something that looked decent with the particle system, especially with the base particle values. So I decided to make this video just to show what I found, and hopefully someone can find use of this. So, you know, I'll just basically be going through how I did this. Alright, so here's the particles themselves, so I'm zoomed in a bit. So if you play it, it's basically, it turns from red to yellow over time. So that's fairly basic. So I'm just going to be going through most of the settings that I did to fine tune my particles, but you can do whatever you want. So for the duration of the particles, as you can see, that's a pretty short time, and it's not looping, of course. So basically, the idea is it'll shoot out a bunch of particles very quickly instead of like taking forever, because then it wouldn't really make as much sense as an explosion, especially in many cartoony style games. So I have the particles themselves lasting longer than the explosion because I have them getting smaller over time, and I didn't want it to look weird, like as if they're magically disappearing or anything. So they have a start lifetime of 1.5 seconds, which I think is pretty normal. Most of these settings are pretty standard. I didn't really do anything fancy here. For the emission, I have them so 35, which is very high. But that's mainly just to get a bunch of particles spewing out at once, but not necessarily doing them all in 1 second because then though it might look stupid. Um, and shape, I used a circle because since this is a 2D game, I mean that makes the most sense. I tried using an edge, but of course that makes the explosion go up, so I mean it depends on what you're trying to do, but I used a circle. And this is basically will change the shape of the explosion since it's how the particles are emitted. Nothing else there is to where you can adjust the scale, of course, so I don't know. Color of a lifetime, fairly obvious, red to yellow. It's a dark red, so doesn't really matter. And then size over lifetime, I thought this was pretty important because I wanted to get smaller over time so it wouldn't just magically disappear. And I think this tends to work with a lot of particles in general. The most important thing though, however, is is where is it? Oh yeah, your sorting layer. Make sure you set a sorting layer that makes sense. Oh, oops. You don't want a sorting layer that's like has it would be in the background, that way you wouldn't see it, and it just I put it in the foreground, but I have a bunch of layers as you can see for the particles. So I think that's mainly all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed. All I wanted to basically say is that there's good ways to make explosion effects using the built-in particle system in Unity, and you don't necessarily have to do an animation if you're short on time or are lazy like I am. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.